Well, I just did the later style 385 Janome pop clutch, and when I returned that machine and grabbed some more machines to fix from work, I got this one, which is an early Kenmore 385 Janome made with the pop clutch where just the center pulls out instead of the whole hand wheel. This machine, or this hand wheel style, still has the same center trim piece, but the whole hand wheel comes off when you remove this center screw. So you'll need to have the belt off of the machine so that you can slide the entire hand wheel and clutch off if you have any issues with it. And then, unlike the other pop clutch, you'll see there's these notches in this gear that runs the main timing belt. These pegs that spring load out of the hand wheel engage those notches. And when you disengage, when we pop our clutch out, it retracts these pegs. And then to open this, you'll see we got these two hook springs here. Those have to be held in so that they'll release this outer hand wheel. Alright, so the hand wheel, it pulls out and retracts these two drive pins, which are sprung. To get this apart, so if these are gooped up with grease and aren't retracting or aren't coming back in, I mean, they'll stick up in there and then not drive the machine. The spring here, I'm going to get two tiny screwdrivers. Hold those tabs in so that they don't hook on the edge of the holes here, and then the inside pulls off and you see the hand wheel, and this metal bracket with the spring that holds the two halves together also holds these spring pegs in place, and then they have a spring underneath. There. I very rarely see these style of clutches that are sticky. Usually I don't have to open them this far, but especially if these holes where those big drive pegs go through are full of grease or all gummed up, you want to get those drive pegs out and just clean any of the grease and goop out of the holes. And since I'm in here, I'll do that. And then to reassemble this, you have to make sure that you line the two pegs up, two drive pegs with the two holes, and the spring there's grooves on the middle shaft, and so it should all line up, and it's in position here. and the two pegs have moved in place. And then I just need to make sure that these two spring ears, there we go, are in position so that they'll pop out through, and now they hook again and hold the assembly together. Because this is a single unit piece, it's much easier to install because it just goes on the shaft here. There is a washer, and it was on here, but with the hand wheel popped out, it's freewheeling, and then whenever you push it in, because those pegs are spring-loaded, it just rotates until they drop into their position and grab the back of, and grab that main shaft ratchet. So when you put this back in, there's a washer and that big screw, and now there we go. Not much lubrication for these pop clutches, just, you know, if you run across them and the grease is dried up, you need to open them and get the old grease out, and then a little bit of sewing machine oil, and they'll be fine.